October 18th, 2012, Thursday. First thing in the pit, Connors had Midas doing physical tests again. Strength, speed, endurance, durability, and agility were all tested again. Midas was tired, and putting the pit back the way it had been was drudgery. "Why do you keep testing me like this?" Midas asked. "From using the notes Omni had on his development and keeping track of how you're starting, I kinda get an idea of where you'll end up. Right now your scores are all at a solid 7, and your durability is at a 55. Wow, I got that from my Omni power, right? Your scores are jumping a notch every 5 weeks. If this holds, you'll get another one in 3 weeks. Your speed is the thing you really want. Let's go to the classroom for the rest of the day." "Why?" Midas asked. "You have enough combat skills to take care of business on Monday. I just want to go over a few things with you about team combat," Connor said. "Like what?" Midas asked as he floated up in a force bubble next to the flying Connors. "How you need to fit into your team. Don't think for a second Darkspeed is not still your leader for a start. Also, you're not a hitter. Don't try to be." Connors landed outside the academic building and Midas followed him in. Being an anchor on an alpha team will put a great deal of pressure on you. Being an Omni is even more pressure. If you were to try to be the leader as well, be the smartest, spend the most time in the lab, be the hitter, you get my point? Connors finally asked. "The saying is not to bite off more than I can chew. I get your point. It's not just that. I want you to have the wisdom to say no when you'll be overloaded. Once you're out as an Omni, I'll have the same talk with Darkspeed. Part of his job as leader will be to say no for you. Take a seat," Connors said as he closed the door. "It's nice to have the place empty for this," Midas said. "It is. Now, let's go over a few more rules before lunch." Connors started to teach Midas what power meant and how he should treat his newfound abilities. Connors knew some of what he said about stewardship and responsibility were not going to stick with the 11-year-old boy, but some would. His plan was to have talks like this with him every few months until the boy could finish the talk for him. "Almost lunchtime. Tell me, what is stewardship?" Connors asked Midas. "It's showing care of ownership. If a neighbor borrows something, he needs to care for it like it was his, and return it in good condition. For superheroes, it's showing care of ownership of their powers, using them for the good of all they affect. To use your powers for selfish reasons is bad stewardship." "That's not a bad answer. Let's get you fed and then to the pit." "What's in the pit?" Midas asked. "Your last big test of the day," Connors answered. Connors wouldn't say what the test was until they were in the pit. Midas stood nervous as Connors paced around him. "You need to learn how to summon the Omni power. I'll know when I see your eyes glow blue." "Have you tried yet?" Connors asked. "No, yes. In the dorm I tried but couldn't," Midas answered. "Omni told me how he used to do it. Would you like to try his method?" "Sure." "Close your eyes then. Breathe deeply. Feel your heart pumping blood through your body. It's not about the calm, it's about the storm." Omni would then think of moments he had in battle. He would see the image of his father's plane going down over France, how he was helpless to do anything. He would let his adrenaline surge like a torrent in his veins. Connors was speaking with passion as he paced closely in circles around Midas. He would remember friends that had died and the people who killed them. Justice that was never served to evil men. How he walked as a giant among men and always kept his power reined in to keep him from hurting ones he loved. He concentrated on the fight ahead and wanted to free the destructive power inside of him. To let it out and let it free. To channel it through him and into his enemies. Connors watched him for a sign of change. Midas was breathing heavy and thought of the time the power flowed through him without him trying. He stood there for an unsteady moment and tried so hard to make the power come out. "It's not working," Midas said as he let out a deep breath. "It's okay. Take your time and try again," Connors said patiently. Midas plopped down and sat on the pit floor. Something isn't right, he thought. Is this what Omni did before a fight? If he had time, his power was the same either way. But he told me keeping his power locked up inside was a chore, like not scratching something that itches. "Wait, I think that's it," Midas said. "What?" "Just give me a minute to try something." Connors walked to the side of the pit and sat on the steel blocks. Midas closed his eyes and focused inward. Omni was a fighter, and I'm a builder, he thought to himself. Midas stood, searching for something inside of himself for almost a half an hour. Connors was typically impatient, but knew some things could not be rushed. Midas finally opened his eyes. They were glowing a light blue. "That's it!" Connors said as he flew closer to Midas. That's it! I can see fine, Midas said in surprise. I can feel my eyes glowing, but it doesn't hurt. The color is a light blue, like Omni's was when he was young. Whatever you're doing, increase it. Make them glow bright. Slowly, the brightness in his eyes increased to where a normal person would not be able to look at them. How is this? Midas said with absolute happiness. That's perfect. How does it feel? It feels great, like I'm connected to everything around me, like I'm a part of everything. The power going through me feels like getting into a hot tub with all the hot water jets. Only it's on the inside. That's it. Go ahead and let it die down. Connors was smiling at the transformation. Connors waited for the glow to subside. That was the last thing. What were you thinking of when you were able to make the connection? I thought of how you said Omni was always a fighter, even when he was little. You said his enemies feared him, that battle was quick and decisive. Well, that's not me. I thought about the village and those people I helped. I felt like I had to help them. It was my unscratched itch. I wanted to help them. I wanted to save them, protect them. That's what did it for me. Of course, I should have thought of that. Connors threw his head back. The Omni that builds the future won't be like the one that drove fear into the hearts of his enemies. I should have seen that one coming. Midas smiled at his coach. I figured out something you didn't. Don't get a big head. I never said I was perfect, and like I said, no one's trained an Omni like you before. Can you teach me the gunfighter? Why would you want to know that? You're not that Omni. My team still has matches, and they'll expect big things from me. I think it would be good if I could do it. Alright, first you have to summon the power with combat in mind. You said you thought of protecting. Protecting can be combat. Let's use that idea. Connors then stood next to him, facing the same direction. Stand wide, and do this with your feet. Twist your feet until you feel your boots grip into the ground, until you feel solid. Bow your head and make fists, not like you're going to draw guns, like you already have them built in. Connors stopped to adjust Midas' arms. Elbows slightly bent, with the fist just off the side of the leg. Here. Square shoulders and flex everything. Now, call the power and tell me when you have it. Midas was able to call it much quicker this time. I have it. Now, wait until I say go. When I do, raise your head while you open your eyes. At the same time, you open your fist and turn your palms to the front. Make balls of electricity in your palms. Are you ready? Yes. Connors moved in front of Midas to get a good look. Go! Midas did as he was told. How was that? Not bad, but it wasn't just about the move. It was the attitude. This was something that Omni did when he faced Vector's armies. This meant power was about to be unleashed, as much as it took. Omni did this with such intimidation that some villains just threw their hands up in the air when they saw it. If this is a move you want to use, you need to get a game face. Olympian, he has a game face. So, I need to get in touch with my inner Olympian? Midas said with a grin. Just the face, not the whole being difficult thing, Connors said. The two practiced in the pit for hours. Midas wanted to master this thing that Omni used to do. Connors helped him until he could respectably pull the move off. Midas seemed happy that Connors approved. I have a homework assignment for you to take home to Michigan, Connors said. I get to go home? Midas said with excitement. You seem like you're in good control of your powers. I think you could take these last few days of vacation. What's my homework? An Omni has to have a costume. You need something that says you're an Omni. I like my new armor. I could just decorate it with colors. I just need to think something up. There's only one set of colors for you, black and gold. Midas laughed. I was told those colors were retired with Omni. No, they were reserved, Connors continued, for you. Are you serious? Omni's colors? My team would flip. I don't think so, not if you follow my lead. Could I see Omni's armor again? Midas asked. Sure, Connors said. Soon they were in Connors' room and taking the hidden portal to another portal and then to Omni's secret lair. Connors opened the case that contained Omni's black and gold armor. Go ahead, get a good look, Connors said. Midas felt the hand of the armor and lifted it to the side. This is really heavy. No one had thought of liquid-charged armor in 1980. Omni made these pieces of armor by crushing steel alloys together, making each piece denser. The suit weighs 6,000 pounds. Omni had a different one he wore when he was working on the Tokyo Initiative, one that was lighter. This was the one that he would wear in combat.